There are two different financing structures in venture capital, and for that purpose also the project development capital for the 4 to 5 years of project development. We have a rather familiar preferred stock structures. Series A, Series B, Series C, all preferred stock structures where the investor has a liquidation preference, where the investor has a board representation, a dividend preference, registration rights, there's a voting agreement, and so on and so forth. All these things you don't find in project financing. Project financing are complex debt leveraged equity structures. So what do I mean with that? And how much time do I have? 5 more minutes?
5 minutes.
Yeah? Okay, good. So what do I mean with that? Complex debt leveraged equity structures. Project financing has 3 different investors. You have the sponsor equity, you have the tax equity, and you have the debt leverage. The tax equity basically goes into the project, finances a portion of the project just for the purpose of receiving a tax benefit. So if I have a project, for example, for $10 million, and by the way, these are the commonly used financing structures, the partnership flip, sale leaseback, and lease pass-through. And as I said, Tom is going to go into the depth a little bit more, but let me just make a point with regard to the partnership flip. Partnership flip structure, if I have a project for $10 million, the normal structure that we see, and if it's a partnership flip, $10 million will be financed with roughly $4 to $4.5 million in debt, first priority debt, $4 to $4.5 million in tax equity, and between $1 and $2 million in sponsor equity. And the sponsor equity comes either directly from the developer or from a third party who takes a portion in the developer. Now, the tax equity is very interesting because they put in $4 to $4.5 million into this $10 million project, but for the first 5 years of the life of the project, they get allocated 99.5% of the ownership and the tax benefits in the project. By getting 99.5%, and for discussion purposes, let's say it's 100%, the debt equity, the tax equity gets allocated immediately 30% ITC, investment tax credit. That means the day after, let's say they make the investment on the 14th of April, and on the 15th of April they have to sign or send their check to the IRS. Of that check, they can immediately deduct $3 million. Of the $4.5 million they invested, so the net investment is $1.5 million on day 2, if it's timed right. In addition, at least for 2011, and I guess that Tom is going to talk about that a little bit more, we have a bonus depreciation. And the bonus depreciation is 100%, I think, right now, right? This year. Yeah. So there's another significant amount that is going to come to the developer through the tax equity investor through the bonus depreciation, so that the tax equity investor is being made whole and gets their IRR basically just from federal tax credits, tax benefits. There's a very, very small requirement to pay cash out of the project to the tax equity investor, and that's for tax reasons, economic substance test, and so on and so forth. Again, Tom is going to talk about that a little bit more. But it's interesting how you can, with tax policy, how you can support a certain industry that you want to support. However, the problem is you need an intermediary, and that is an investor who has to pay taxes. There are not that many big companies out there these days who pay taxes. Now, yeah, okay, they pay taxes again. They pay taxes again, but 2010 was not the best tax year. considering that 2009 was not the best business year. So the federal government saw that, and they created something which is called the 1603 cash grant, and I guess that Fred is going to talk a little bit about that. It basically allows you to replace the 30% tax equity with 30% cash that you get from the government. And that's basically my presentation. I have in my presentation a number of flow charts, but I didn't want to bring them up too much because that goes into the presentation from Tom. And thank you very much, and I'm going to be here for questions later.